In this episode of Set Pieces, I sit down to talk to Kevin Quintana, goalkeeping coach and newest member of the coaching staff for UMAFC. If you can, please leave a like and subscribe as that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Enjoy this episode of Set Pieces. Welcome back to Set Pieces interview with Kevin Quintana, one of the greatest goalkeeping coaches by far. If I have to say, I'm a little biased. Used to be the coach for my son. Full disclosure, Kevin, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Just here. Happy to be talking to you, especially about goalies. It's definitely a passion of mine. I've been a goalie my whole life, so I'm looking forward to this conversation with you.
And just to give a brief review for our viewers, just going to talk about your CV both as a player and as a coach. Just some of your experience.
Okay, so going back to when I started playing soccer, it was in Uruguay. That's where I'm originally from. Uruguay in South America. I played from when I was 3 years old to 8 years old. And I was blessed that my family moved to the U.S. when I was 8, and I continued my youth career here in the USA in Georgia. I played for a couple of clubs, some rec, some old club that used to be called Glory in the south of Georgia. And then I found my way to Alfred Ambush. It's really not a big club, but we had a good team, a good age group, the 93s. And I ended up playing there, traveling all over the U.S., playing for Alfred Ambush in multiple tournaments and college showcases.
And then I know that, with knowing you for as long as I have, you also got an opportunity to play overseas. You got to play over in the Gothia Cup.
Yeah, no, I got offered. I met a guy playing the Sunday League. I met a guy. He took me to try out in El Salvador. I was there for approximately 3 to 4 months. Um, I ended up trying out there. It went really well. I got offered a 1 year contract, but I ended up deciding to come back to the U.S. To finish I was in the process of getting my U.S. citizenship, so that would have affected if I would have stayed there longer than 6 months. So I ended up coming back to the U.S. and finishing my U.S. citizenship process.
And then you converted over to being a coach. I know, I spent many seasons with you when you were a coach over at GSA, over in Lilburn. You coached my son, like I said, and always enjoyed with your coaching style. Now that we hear that you're helping with some of the goalkeepers down at UMAFC, being down there in Opelika and also that LaGrange area. I just wanted to get your overall opinion on the level of player development that you are seeing, not only with UMA, also just in this lower southeast region.
Okay, so with UMA, I recently started with them a couple months ago. Coach Joe reached out to me. We knew each other through multiple common friends, and he has players of all levels, starter players that have been playing soccer for basically their whole life. So what stands out to me about UMA is the mentality of the players. They are there because they want to be there. They're not there because their parents are forcing them to be there, kind of. So it makes it really, you know, good as a coach to be able to coach a player that want to be there. Their mentality is, I, you don't come around that very often where the player has the mentality to, you know, want to go that extra mile in training, and not when you make them do hard trainings or you put them through hard drills, they're not giving you an attitude. Sometimes you see it through their body languages and the player while doing the drills. But what stands out to me about UMA is they really focus on the mentality of the players and being basically a young professional.
And we here at ASMG, we work a lot with UMA and work with Coach Andrew. And We can't say the same. You know, he's top notch, that whole group down there in UMA. But as a former keeper and now a coach, just can you talk about the importance of specific training for goalkeeping?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, it's going to be funny what I'm going to say, but it boils down to you want to learn about cars, you go to a mechanic. You want to learn about life, you talk to old people, right? You want to learn about goalie and get better at goalie, you're going to have to talk to a goalie, somebody that play goalie, a goalkeeper coach that, any coach can throw down some cones and run a drill, right? But if you didn't play and you don't have that prior experience from you messing up or you getting it right, it's going to be hard to connect to a goalkeeper. They're a different breed. So, it's important for goalies, young goalies especially, to have a goalkeeper coach where they can relate to, where the goalkeeper can understand not only the technique part that they need to learn, but the mentality of a goalie. What a goalie goes through before the game, or if they had a bad game, how you pick that goalie up from a bad game. And that's only somebody that been in those shoes can connect with you and make you get past that, and and use it to your tools to get better, not to feel like you're not meant to be a goalie.
Because that's one of the
So
things that a lot of people forget is that one mistake in 90 minutes can just be a complete disaster for a goalkeeper.
I always say, a forward can play bad the whole game. In the last minute, they score a goal, they're the hero. Now the goalie can play good the whole game. In the last minute, they make a mistake and they're the villain. Oh, we lost because of you, or at least they feel that way. You know, so yeah, it's definitely a different breed, and it's important for clubs to have a goalkeeper coach that's specified in those things, and can connect with players in that aspect, not
Yeah,
only teaching the technical side, but also teaching the mental side of what it has to be with being a goalkeeper. Because it's not meant to be for everybody.
yes. And kind of expanding upon that, one of the talking points that we bring up consistently in our broadcasts is the desire to see precise passing and control from goalkeepers. Can you just talk for a moment the importance of proper movement of the ball from the keeper?
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're into goalkeeper, you about now know that it's not like back in the day. You're the tallest guy. You're getting put in goal, and you're gonna block shots, and that's all you're gonna do. The modern goalkeeper. If you're not using your feet, um, you're basically, you're not giving out to the team. You're not being that extra player. It's not there. If you're a goalie with good feet, the team is playing with 11 players. If you're a goalie with bad feet, I feel like they're playing with 10. So it's important um, for a goalie to have good feet, to give that defender that extra breath when they under pressure, they can pass back. So I, it's it comes to, like, I think there's such a thing as goalkeeper fitness. Like you said, moving off the ball, where to be is not it's not the same as a defender or field player. So I think being at the right spot to receive the ball, and the defender to see you without even looking at you, and feel like, okay, the goalie's going to be there. I'm gonna pass him the ball so he can switch it to the other side. So there's a such I believe there's a such thing as goalkeeper fitness. So and that helps out with the feet. One thing is that the one of the things that I've seen throughout playing and coaching is that there's coaches that hasn't played goalie. Sometimes they see a goalie with good feet, and they're immediately, hey, he can be a midfielder. Hey, he can be a defender. I always found it as an insult as a goalie. If somebody would have told me, hey, you want to play forward? Hey, you want to play midfield? You got good feet. I always tell coaches, why can you say I'm a goalie with good footwork, with good foot skills? Why are you trying to find me a position on the field? Sharpen my tools as a goalie with my feet, and stop trying to find me another position just because I'm good with my feet.
Yeah,
And
because we talk all the time. There are times where yes, you need to boot the ball out because you're trying to relieve pressure on your defense. there's also those times where as a goalkeeper, it's your job to get the ball forward to your forward player to their feet, or to
Right,
give them a ball that's going forward to allow them to move into free space and then start an attack. And I think sometimes, like you said, sometimes, coaches that don't really understand the goalkeeping position just think of that, just send it forward.
right, correct. So yeah, and I mean, by having a goalkeeper coach, you can focus those things, taking the pressure away from the field training. You can work on foot skills as a goalie with other goalies. So because that way you're not so worried about what the team is doing. If with a goalkeeper coach, you can do goalkeeper like scenarios with your feet in the training. So
Yeah. And with the UMA being in the UPSL, the UPSL is really the best opportunity for a player to develop and progress to the professional level, being that it's all year round. You have the seasons in both spring and in the fall. Just can you talk for a quick moment about the importance, the chance to train and play at a high level throughout the year instead of that seasonal that you get in like club soccer or some of these other divisions, and how that helps develop a goalkeeper even quicker?
correct. Yeah, I definitely agree with the all year long playing and training. I think soccer in America has grown so much that there is a really high level. You could used to get away with playing for 3 or 4 months at a high level and then basically training once a week. I think nowadays soccer in America, the level is so high, and there's so many motivated players that are getting training on their own and playing year rounds in leagues that offer that. So I think it not only serves as a motivation to a player, a committed player. It's having a program that plays year round is a blessing to the player that really wants to be a soccer player and really looks to making something out of soccer. So it shows that they have to be at their best shape in physical wise, technique wise, year long. It's not just I train. I'm already good. I train whenever I can. Now it's like no, I know there's somebody playing in the program that's all year long that's training right now. I can't afford to miss a week. I can't afford to not have either private training or team training at least 4 times a week because there's programs that offer this now in the U.S. So if you're giving that advantage to players of by not playing for a month or not training for a week or two, you're basically getting behind on your level, and it's going to catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, because and I know this just through just being the parent of a player that was underneath you, where it's not just you're going to regular team practice, you're also going to goalkeeping specific practice 2 or 3 times a week, plus you're also doing your fitness training. To be a goalkeeper, to be dedicated to it, there's a lot there. And that's also why keepers stick together. So you get that core of guys that are in those training, and they stick together through thick and thin. And whether they're part of the same organization or they're from other organizations, but they train together, they whether they're teammates or whether they're rivals, keepers are a special breed.
Right. And to add on that, uh, this is when you train in a group with goalkeepers that are only goalkeepers. This is what I tell my goalkeepers: we are all coaches. My style of coaching doesn't fit every player. There's so many ways to play goalie. There's so many different styles also. So if you have a group of goalies that are training and I'm teaching something, it may not fit that style, but in that group, there may be a player that a goalie that plays a certain style that fits another player. So now that goalie becomes a coach itself because there's another player that got the same styles and they can learn from each other. So It's not that I just go and coach goalie and it fits every style because we are all different. But having a group and having a club that offers a goalkeeper coach where it can bring the goalkeepers together, it gives advantage to learning from every different style of goalkeeping, not just the goalie coach.
Yeah. And then finally, if there's any keepers out there that are wanting to expand their training and looking to maybe reach out to you, how could they reach out to you?
Uh, I would say, I mean, social media, Facebook. My name is Kevin Quintana on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm under Quintana Sports, QUINTANA underscore sports with a S. That's the way most of the players reach out to me nowadays. Everybody has social media, parents and players. So that's probably the easiest and fastest way to reach out to me.
And we'll add those in the description, those links to there as well for you. Kevin, I want to thank you for coming on Set Pieces. It's been a pleasure. Somebody that I've known for a very long time. I spent hours on the sidelines watching you operate, and I can't give enough praise to the way that you coach and how you the players, they want to be there and they want to learn and they want to get better and I've always had a soft spot for goalkeepers. So, want to give as much love as I can. So, thank you for joining us and look to see more. Hopefully, get to see you down at when we get to visit UMA and Opelika and LaGrange.
Yes, sir. And thank you for this opportunity. I always believe that goalkeepers don't get much love, but it's for programs like this that we can expose the good of goalkeeping and the importance of training and giving the goalie the time they deserve on training and off the field too.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thanks for watching Set Pieces. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.